Hey, dumbass.
Hey, drunkie.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, we went to the bar last night, and
How
I
you
was,
feel about that?
you know, I've had worse hangovers. It's like, I just feel like hot and my head hurts. But other than that, I've actually been really productive today, and that does not happen when I have a bad hangover. So I'm fine. What about you?
I feel great.
How many drinks did you have?
Four,
Yeah, we did a bunch of shots, though, too.
two shots and four drinks.
I had two shots, the one drink there.
But the drink you had there was also all over the counter too. So
I don't know. But I would say I drank almost a half pint before I got there.
damn.
I know. Well, okay, full disclosure for our listeners because we were supposed to record yesterday, and then like an hour before we were supposed to record, I DM'd you and said I was going to hang out with a boy. I thought you were going to be really mad at me. And then you just wrote back, cool, I'll go to the bar and then we'll both have stories. Wee! Like we both I don't know why I thought for even a split second you would be mad anyway because you never are, but that was funny. And then so then I go to hang out with this boy and it was a bust. Like I got there and he had two like friends there just like watching Netflix and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then okay, so he's like a funeral director and he has to go pick up bodies all the time. So he's kind of like on call all the time. So he was sitting there telling us about this one woman who's on hospice who's about to die. And then literally we've been there for an hour and he's like he gets a call. And he's like, she literally just died. I have to leave. And we're like, oh, okay. And then I called you and I'm like, coming to the bar.
And there you go.
I know. So we got to drink. It was meant to be that way.
It was because then I realized that the weird stuff that had been happening in my house was probably happening because it was my friend Eric's birthday, which you pointed out, and I couldn't put together until you and I got together. Like the whole confluence of the day, it took us going to Gus's for me to figure it out. That's how I knew it was what it was.
Yeah, you said stuff was like banging or falling in your house all day.
Yeah, I had my plate fell off the wall in the kitchen and broke, and then I had some action figures and a book fall off a shelf and broke, and then I said, like, whoever's in here, like, the only people allowed in my house are friends and family. I don't know who you are, but you're going to have to drop something a third time for me to think that it's something. And then I took a shower to go to the bar, and when I got out of the shower, I heard a big clatter from upstairs and another picture had fallen off the wall and I was like, who is this? Who's in my house doing this? And then we get to the bar, the first time you and I have been to the bar together in a long time, and I'm telling you all about it and you're like, oh, it's Eric's birthday today, our friend who passed away, and his picture's sitting on the bar and we're doing shots for him and I was like, oh, that's who this fucking was.
Yeah. And then, too, I was thinking while you were just talking, like, not our first time together in a bar, just our favorite bar. Because we were at that bar in Wisconsin. But, yeah.
But back at our home bar.
Yeah, at our home bar. Yeah, that was wild. It seriously felt like, I honestly haven't been there in, a year and a half. And it felt like I was just there, like, 4 days ago.
And shit does not change. There was still a drunk group of people singing All Star by Smash Mouth, like normal.
God, I got them on our Patreon video. I was taking video all night. Like I don't need. Listen, John, you went. Have you watched the video from last night yet? And I'm like, fuck no, I don't even. I'm gonna be so embarrassed. I don't even know what's on there. I don't know what I said. So I'll edit it together and put it on Patreon when I.
It ends with you screaming. That's all I know.
I spilled my drink, so I recorded that, and then I walked over to those people singing All Star.
And then I turned the camera around on you and you screamed at me that I was too close. And then you wouldn't, that was the end of the video.
Oh, I just remember in Jaws where he's sitting at the dinner table and he's doing those faces at his little kid and his little kid does that little monster face. I remember I was doing that.
Yeah. So good times though.
Why wouldn't I do that? I know. It was good times.
We were talking earlier, I hate bad, I've had a few, I told you a couple, but I hate bad, why don't we hang out situations that spiral down the drain immediately. They're the worst. Worst.
Don't invite somebody to your house if there's a thing that you didn't fully explain going on.
Yeah.
Like I literally thought we were watching a movie. I showed up in fucking shorts, like cozy shorts, and there was strangers there. I'm like, I feel like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and I told you, I talked to a girl 20 years ago. I talked to this girl online and we were being flirty and she was like, I'm having a tiny Christmas get together. you should come over. And it was the first time that we were going to meet. So I gussied myself all up, got a bottle of wine, get to her place, knock on the door. First of all, there's like 45 people there. It's not a little get together. It's 45 people jammed into this house. And then the person who answers the door introduces me to everybody as her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, hi, I'm John. Walk around the party. Hi, I'm John. Where can I put this wine? They're like, in the kitchen. I set it in the kitchen and walked out the back door. I'm out.
Yeah, let me bring this wine to a party with you and your boyfriend.
Yeah, and all your friends. I knew no one. I hadn't even met this girl in person.
That's so whack. Hate it. That would be even weird if like she invited you to that party and her boyfriend wasn't there. Like maybe he was out of town, so she was having a party, and then it was like, you'd be like, why am I here? We've never met, and you have a boyfriend. Like it would still be weird.
Yeah.
Stupid. You're doing 2 podcasts tomorrow?
I'm doing 2 podcasts tomorrow. I have to do Bridget Marquardt's podcast.
Fun.
And then,
so I'm gonna wait.
What?
People don't know who that is. She was on the, what is it called? The Girls Next Door? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, one of Hugh Hefner's girlfriends or wives or whatever.
They had an E-show. She was the best one. She was like the cute, happy one. But she's super into paranormal stuff, so she has a ghost show. So you're gonna be on her ghost show.
She was the one that seemed, and I don't mean this to sound the way it's going to sound, but she was the one that seemed like she had a life.
Yeah, she had like interests.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was into like cosplay and shit, I feel like.
I feel like that too, yeah.
And then
I have Bigfoot Collectors Club tomorrow too.
Yeah, and the one of the guys on that show was True Blood. He was like an evangelist, right?
I still have never seen True Blood.
Oh, come on.
Never seen one episode of it.
He's in the later, this guy who hosts this podcast, he's in the later seasons. He had that like weird, they were like,
is that Bryce?
Jimmy Faye almost. Like he had this blonde wife chick and they were weird church people. He was the guy in that.
Is his name, is that Bryce or?
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Anyway, they're super fun. And so I have to edit this and then record 2 podcasts and then
get on a plane.
And then Thursday we get on a plane and go to Belvoir in Missouri.
It's too much.
It's a lot for 1 week.
I know. It'll be fun though. You can make fun of me while I'm being the worst flyer who ever flew ever.
You won't be the worst. You're not going to talk to anybody about 9/11 while you're in the plane. That's
no, I'm not.
One of my worst experiences ever.
No, I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm going to have a mask on and headphones on, and I'm just going to like think of myself not on the airplane. Just go to my happy place somewhere in my brain.
Has anyone ever made, now that you say that, has anyone ever made, maybe there's $1 million Shark Tank idea, like a airplane zip up Snuggie, where you like get on the plane and you get into a full body Snuggie that has like headphones and stuff inside of it, and you zip it up to only your face is sticking out? And you can feel all cocooned up inside of it.
I would love that. Like one of those storm jackets for dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that.
There's your $1 million idea. Airplane Snuggie.
Airplane baked potato cocoon time. I thought you were gonna say, has anybody ever made like a flying guided meditation you can listen to on the plane? I gotta look for that shit.
Oh, I could record one of those.
Do it.
Yeah. Did you see that woman on the plane that they duct taped?
No.
What?
Where? Was it on Twitter?
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. There was a flight. I don't know where it was going, but the woman like started to freak out, and I think she was having like a manic episode, and she tried to open the door on the plane while it was in the air, and then the stewardesses like grabbed her, but she started like clawing and screaming and grabbing. And they literally like duct taped her to the seat and like put duct tape over her mouth and duct taped her arms down. That's all. They had to restrain her. Like they had to figure out a way to keep her from causing harm to anyone.
Haven't they figured out that it's like physically impossible to push those doors open while you're in the air?
No, you can do it.
I thought there was too much wind.
No. You could do it.
Okay, that's probably information we don't need to give to people.
Well,
I don't think you can open that door in
you
the
can
air.
open that door.
All right, well, if I'm right, you owe me a Slurpee.
Whatever. I'll get you a Slurpee. Anyway, I think it's okay to duct tape people who are trying to open the door to a plane.
100%. She's lucky that's all that happened. Somebody doesn't probably knock her out.
I was reading one of the stewards or stewardesses or whatever air flight attendants was saying, like, in that situation, we do whatever is necessary to keep, like, we would rather have one person be harmed from duct tape than lose a plane of 300 people.
Well, yeah, no shit. Most people are not paid enough.
No, they are not paid enough.
I was telling you one of my clients yesterday, we were talking about spooky shit and then it just turns into whatever. And then she said she like grew up in Appalachia and like she said that her dad's best friend was one of the divers at the Silver Bridge collapse. And I like lost my shit. I'm like, wait, is he still alive? And she's like, yeah. Oh, like I want to talk to that guy. So she's gonna try and see if he would be down to talk to us.
Yeah.
And then I was telling you, like, I know the format of our podcast is we have no format. So maybe that could be just like a bonus episode, like a weird interview or something. And then she works at U of M, like in the medical part. And she sends me a picture and she's like, do you know about this? And she sent me that picture from 1884 of H.H. Holmes because he went to U of M medical, or he was in the medical class of 1884. And I'm like, I know all about that. I've been trying to get like a good copy of that picture. But okay, so I thought it would be like an archive in a book. It's still on the freaking wall.
Yeah.
Of the hospital at U of M. A freaking serial killer is on the wall.
Crazy.
I know, that was wild to me. I'm like, I had no idea it was still up.
So really quickly though, one of the interesting things, like you were talking about the Silver Bridge diver, like one of the things that bums me out the most was when I pitched that UFO show about the UFO sightings in 1966, the State Secrets show. When I pitched that, one of the reasons it was so important for me to pitch it was because it happened mostly over like Hillsdale College and around Ann Arbor. So a ton of the witnesses were college aged, which means that they would still be alive. You know, a lot of times if you have a UFO case from the 60s, the person who saw it was in their 40s, and now it's been 60 years later, so there's no way they're still alive. They'd be 100 years old. But in the case of Michigan in 66, a lot of those people were 17, 18, 19, 20, so they're alive, they're in their 80s, but they're still alive. Same thing with Silver Bridge. Like there are some people who are still alive, but they're getting older and people need to hear those stories before they vanish forever. That's what I was bummed out about when that show didn't get picked up. Not that I wasn't going to be on television, but that now I don't have the resources to travel around the state and talk to 6 people who were there during this massive UFO event.
Yeah.
And I mean, every day, that's the thing. Every day that passes, you lose more information from those people.
I know.
When I was researching the Kinross case that happened in Michigan, that was in 1953, and I was researching it in the 90s. So I was researching it 40 years later. Those guys were mostly in their 20s and 30s. So they were already 70 and 80 years old when I was interviewing them and recording their stories.
Yeah.
And, you know, UFOs wasn't the way it is now. So I'm glad I did that because all of the guys I interviewed who were on the base when it happened, all those guys are now dead. It's been 20 years since I did that. So I'm the only one who thought to talk to them and record their stories before they died. Like, that's insane.
I know. And all those, it's crazy. Like, you know how we are, like everything's so, what's the word? Like sensory overload now. Like you see 100 commercials a day, you see X amount of ads on your phone, blah, 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 blah. So we don't fucking remember anything. I don't remember anything from 3 days ago. Like I can't ever keep anything in my brain. But those people from those times, they remember shit like it was fucking yesterday. Like old people have the best stories and they don't lose anything.
Yeah. Yeah. They were focused. Well, and they were focused on what they were doing, especially like when I was talking to one of the Air Force officers who was in Kinross in 1953, and I just called him up. He was like in the phone book. Like I just called him up and started talking to him. And I was like, yeah, I wanted to talk to you about the Kinross incident in 1953. And immediately this older guy who was at the time in his almost 80s was like, went right into it and knew exactly. And I was questioning him about documents I had, and his memory, you're right. It was like rock solid about this event because they weren't inundated with constant Twitter refreshes and TikToks every 10 seconds.
Yep. That reminds me too of something I was going to congratulate you on that I'm sure was like a really hard thing for you. When I came up with the name of the last podcast, The Friends, Foes, Murderers, and UFOs, just because it rhymed. And I know UFOs is redundant, and you didn't, I'm like, he's going to say no. He's going to say it has to be UFO and there can't be an S on the end and he's going to fuck it all up. And you didn't say anything. That's like real growth from you, I feel like.
It is, because I have to acknowledge that that's what people call UFO, that they call UFO UFOs, that
Yeah.
there is some, I mean, you can technically, like, words are important, but you can add an S to those things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just have to allow it. I mean, it is some kind of growth, I guess.
It is growth. I was waiting. I'm like, he's going to be like, no, this is my job and I can't use the S because then it says unidentified flying objects.
ATM machines.
Yes. That's
Yes,
funny.
but plus I also realized that foes and UFO didn't rhyme.
Okay, it did so.
It did so that foe rhymed with UFOs.
Foes and UFOs, yeah, that rhymes.
That's what I'm saying. Foes and UFOs rhymes. If I would have argued about calling it UFO, the rhyme is gone.
That's what I thought you were going to do, and then I would have to change it.
I know, and I didn't want to get into that argument, and I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be better.
Friends grows and UFOs.
I'm trying to be better in my old age. I'm trying to retain some kind of mental plasticity. I'm allowing my mind to grow and change. You know, someone said to me on Twitter the other day, they gave me this compliment. They said, "You've probably forgotten more than most researchers will ever know."
Yeah.
And I said, "Thanks for the kind words." And then I was thinking about it later last night. I don't know how this is going to sound. I haven't said it out loud. It was just my internal thought. I kind of like that I forget things, because it gives me the opportunity to remember it and experience it anew, if that makes any sense.
This is really not on that level of like profoundness, but going back to the fact that I have the worst memory ever, I like watching old Catfish reruns and I never fucking remember what happened ever. I watched them all a million times and I'm like, I don't even remember what the catfish looks like. And then I watch it again and it's like, yes, I'm like amazed all over again because I don't fucking remember anything.
Yes. But it's kind of the same thing, but not so much. But I mean, like, I like when somebody mentions something and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It sparks a part of my brain where I'm like, maybe I've heard about that. And so I start researching it online and I'll make some notes and then I'll get a file folder. And this has happened a lot of times and it excites me to no end. I'll get a file folder. I'll put my notes in the file folder. And then I'll go upstairs and I'll open up my file cabinet and I have a file folder in there already from that case. And then I open it up and look at my old notes and my new notes and I'm excited about something that I've already known about.
Well, what's probably cool too is like, let's say, I don't know, when you were like 20 or 25 or whatever, you heard about a case and you're like, that's cool, I guess. But like, maybe you didn't know other stuff about it, or maybe like as you grow as a person, maybe you weren't the same then and it would like hit you different now because you've had different experiences in your life. You know, it might hit you like emotionally in a way it didn't before.
Yes. And sometimes my older notes when I was younger and a little bit more brash and not patient, sometimes they're filled with insight that I couldn't have now because I have lost some mental plasticity and I'm not as flexible as I used to be. And even though that information might not be great, I can see like in my handwriting, I can see in the notes that I took and in what I was thinking, I can see like that youthful passion. And then that fires me up as an older investigator. Like, oh, I remember being doing that fucking crazy thing.
Yeah, not being like so rigid and grouchy like everybody on Twitter.
And me sometimes.
You are grouchy sometimes. But okay, but your grouchiness is usually because everybody else sounds stupid or is I don't want to say stupid, but naive. I don't know. And I don't know. Nobody's as smart as you. That's just gotta be really frustrating.
No. The problem for me, and you've heard me say this, and I say this on the podcast, and I say it on Twitter, the most difficult part of my journey and the work that I have to do on myself is understanding that everyone else is on a journey and they have work to do. And the frustrating thing to me is when people don't understand they're on a journey and they don't understand they have work to do, they just think that they're done. They think like, oh, I figured this out, I've got it, case closed. And if I try to point out like, no, this is just part of your journey, you have work to do, they're like, what the fuck do you know, old man? And then I get grumpy.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to say, try and be better. Try and be more than you are right now.
Right. I don't know why, but while you were talking, that sparked that thought. I liked what you said on that. What podcast were you on this week? That Kyle kid. What's it called?
Yeah, Chaos and Shadow.
There we go. Yeah. So everybody can look up that podcast and listen to it. It was actually really good. The link is on Tenny's Twitter page. But you guys were talking about like personal energy and bubbles and and you said something about fish, how they swim all around each other in a pattern, but they don't bang into each other. And then you said a thing where if you look down from a building and you see a bunch of people walking on the on a sidewalk, like we all like go around each other, but it's not like you're trying. You just kind of like weave in and out of people's energy because there's like maybe a bubble. I like that.
Yeah,
part.
There's something around us. Like I was saying, the patterns of like schools of fish look like the patterns of flocks of birds.
Yeah.
And then if you look at people from a tall building, like we do the same thing that ants do. If you look at like ants running in a trail, there's millions of ants and none of them ever bump into each other. And then you look at people and there's millions of people and none of them ever bump into each other. And it's a big deal when you're walking and you bump into someone.
Yeah.
Like both of you are like, like because it doesn't happen. We navigate because of these weird unseen energetic fields around us.
I love that.
And so of course, like when people say, oh, I met that dude one time, but when I met him, I could tell he was a dick. Like it's because his energy was giving off something bad to you.
Mm-hmm. Or like when something's the opposite and you meet somebody once and you're like, oh my God, they're my new best friend. But you like literally don't even know them at all.
Yeah. That's what's interesting though, when you get, like if you get into the idea, I don't know how much I really believe in like the id and the ego and stuff like that. But that's what I always think is interesting when you kind of drop your personal mask of who you are. So if you let's say you get a little drunk, all of a sudden you start to realize that more people are your friends.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the bar and you get a little drunk and all of a sudden you're like, hey, that guy's all right over there.
Hey, that guy.
But if you met him like totally sober, you'd be like, this dude is an asshole, because you both have personal masks up. But when those masks start to drop, all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to go sit with those people over there because they're cool. And you don't know who they are, but you start to realize like, oh, we're all kind of fucked up. Maybe people are nice.
I know. I've been trying. Another thing I find really nice and just about people being on their own journey and maybe having a bad day and you don't even fucking know, like along the lines of don't be mean to strangers or like you know what I'm saying. But I notice, and I've been trying to be better about, and especially like service people, like there was a new person at 7-Eleven the other day and I was like, how's your night going? Like I've been really trying to ask people how they are, how their day is, like, because honestly, if you don't have anybody in your life, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a parent, a friend, nobody ever asks you how your day is. And it's such a simple thing, but it like makes you feel really seen and cared about. And even if like, you know, and most of the time they say something like, well, this happened, and they'll like unload something on you. And you know that when you walk away, they're going to feel better because they got to say that because someone fucking asked.
Yeah.
So
before we recorded this, I walked to the bakery to get some salsa because I made burritos for dinner and I needed some salsa. But when I walked in, there was a woman working behind the counter and she was like, how can I help you? And I was like, I don't know what I want yet. And I immediately said, I don't know what I want yet. How are you doing today? And she was kind of grumpy. She goes, I'm fine. Like she was not having it. And then I come back over and I go, I guess, because I didn't really know what I wanted aside from the salsa, but I'm looking at all the baked goods. And I said, and it's getting close to the end of the night. And I said, what don't you want to wrap up and put away? Like, can I just buy you out of something? And she goes, what are those 2 donuts in that strudel? And I was like, okay, I'll have the 2 donuts and the strudel. And she looked at me and she laughed. All of a sudden she wasn't grumpy. And she's like, do you really want that? And I was like, yeah, I just asked you what I should take. And then we both started laughing. And then all of a sudden we were talking and she was asking me about my shirt and I was asking her about hers. And then another girl came out from the back room because she heard us talking and laughing and started talking to us. And it was as simple as just being genuine with each other for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds stupid. And you probably, even people listening to this are probably like, okay, I ask people how they are, but like, do you? Like, we all say hi and bye and thank you. But like the question specifically, how are you today? Or how is your day? Is like, some people don't get that. Like, it just, so I'm going to try. That's a thing I want to try and do. And you could tell this kid, he was all frazzled. You could tell he was like new, and like the people behind in front of me in line were kind of dicks. And then you could tell he was just like head down, let me not deal with drunk assholes all night. And then when I asked him, his little eyes went up. He was like, "Oh, I'm almost done for the night." I was like,
And
"Oh."
and it's okay too. I was at the grocery store a couple weeks ago, and there was the guy who was like ringing up my stuff, and he goes, "Anything else?" And I go, "Nope. How's your day going?" And he goes, "Garbage." And I laughed and I went, "Indeed," because I had been having a bad day too. I was like, "Indeed, it's been a pretty bad day." Like even that interaction of saying to someone like, "It's okay that it's a garbage day. I had a garbage day too. It was bad today." Or you know
Yeah,
what I
and
mean? Like,
also it like gives them that safe moment too, because it's like, well, you fucking asked, so I can fully tell you how my day really was.
yeah, and I think you have to, but here's the other thing too. You have to give off that genuineness of wanting to know for them to be open enough to say, like, that guy looked at me, immediately sized me up, read my energy, and was like, "It's garbage, dude."
Yep.
Like, he knew that I would be okay with him saying it's garbage.
He knows our Patreon tiers, that's why. I was just thinking, going back to this is random, but going back to the flying thing too, I swear, and I wasn't even thinking about it, but just like, I don't even remember if I said this in the episode because the episode was so fucking sad and I was spiraling. But in the episode where I was talking about Bean passing away, I don't know if I said on here that I put his ashes in the tattoo. Did I?
I think you might have.
But yeah, so like 4 days after Bean passed, he got cremated and I put his ashes in my tattoo ink, which I don't recommend to people, but I'm a tattooer and I can do whatever the fuck I want. But anyway, so I just a couple of days ago, like not even thinking about it, I talked to him around here constantly, and I was thinking about going on a plane, and he never went on a plane. I'm like, Bean, it's gonna be your first time on a plane. So he's coming with us.
Isn't that exciting?
I know, he gets to come too.
Yeah.
That'll make me feel better. I mean,
Yeah.
it would feel better if it was me and him in a baked potato suit, but I'll take what I can get.
Did he eat baked potatoes? Do dogs eat potatoes?
He liked potatoes for sure. He liked watermelon. He liked apples. He liked peanuts.
I just don't think I've ever seen a dog eat potato before.
A lot of those soft, the like canned dog food has potato in it. They like sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
I think he liked mashed potatoes. Oh, he liked tater tots. He didn't really like French fries, but he liked the tot for sure.
That's one of those things, like that type of fooding. Is fooding a word?
I don't know. It is now.
That type of fooding with dogs, you don't get so much with cats. Like Charlie would eat like spaghetti sauce.
That's weird.
But that was about the only human food that Charlie would eat. Tuna, I mean, obviously it's a fish, but
yeah.
But like that was about it.
Yeah, cats don't care.
And they're super finicky. Like they really are finicky eaters.
I feel like they also just like food that's like bogus too. Like it has to like smell horrible, and like dogs will eat some bland ass food and they don't care.
Did you eat dog food before you gave it to Bean?
I tried his treats before. I don't know if I ever tried his dog food because it was like chicken flavor, and I don't do that. But I tried a couple of his like dog cookies, dog treats.
Yeah, I used to eat Charlie's dry food to see what it tasted like.
Yeah, one of the times, I used to make him like I would say in the last couple of years I made him grilled chicken a lot because he got real finicky. And one of the times I was like, I got some grilled chicken from my dad and my grandma, and I'm like, this chicken looks weird, and I fucking cooked it and it still looked weird, and I fucking put it in my mouth and chewed it, and it was so gross, and I spit it out. And honestly, I haven't had meat in so long that I'm like, I don't even know if this tastes normal. But honestly, it tastes like anything. It tasted like nothing, but I threw it all out. But I tried to test it for him, but it was gross. Meat's gross.
I remember eating Charlie's food, even his wet food, like tasting it. And then I talked to a friend of mine who was a vet who told me like cats don't even really taste their food anyway.
What?
Like their taste buds, like dogs and cats have different taste buds than we do as humans. So like their sweet and sour is completely different from ours and how they experience it. And so when we taste it, like we're like, ugh, that's kind of gross. But they don't taste it the way we taste it.
That's why I was so weirded out. I used to give him like little chunks of apple and they'd be really tart, and he like wouldn't make a face. I'm like, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You're like, you never have anything like that. Isn't that you weird? And they don't give a shit. Swallow the whole thing. Oh, I made for our Patreons the other day, I made a spooky home tour of my house and showed off a bunch of my weird shit. And then, of course, in the video, the squirrels and the TBJ, the terrorist blue jay, made several appearances because the terrorist blue jay was screaming outside my back door. So anyway, a bunch of people commented on it and said nice stuff and blah blah blah. And Aldana called me Spooky Snow White. So that's my name now. That's all I will be answering to from now on. I thought it was so cute.
That's very cute.
I know. We love our squirrels. We both talked about our squirrels already today when we called each other.
Have you ever seen the really racist version of Snow White that Disney put out?
No.
Oh yeah. I think it's either Disney or Looney Tunes back in the 30s did a really racist version of Snow White. It's not good.
Is it called Snow White?
No, it's called Coal Black.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's bad. You can probably find it on YouTube.
That can't be Disney.
It's like Looney Tunes or something. It's like one of those big like cartoon things.
Gross.
Yeah, it's bad.
We've come along. Well, no, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
The world is garbage. Oh boy, that was funny. Oh, I want to talk about too. The Crystal Council is this website. They have a really big Instagram following, but long story. I don't even know where to start. Anyway, I'm obsessed with UFC. Everybody knows that. There's a long story. Somehow I got a bunch of the fighters and MMA reporters into crystals. I'll tell that whole story another day. I don't feel like telling it right now. But anyway, so from that, I make these weekly. Well, they used to be weekly. Now they're like, I really only do them for the pay-per-views. But anyway, I do these breakdowns on Twitter called Crystal Keys to Victory, where I make like hypothetical charts of what the fighters, like what crystal the fighters could use to like amp up their game or like make them win or whatever. So anyway, so the Crystal Council works with a bunch of the fighters, or they like send them crystals or sponsor them or whatever. So they caught wind of my breakdowns and they started sending me like care packages every once in a while that are like literally insane. Like you would think it'd be like a tiny box of crystals with like some tumbles and a candle. They send me fucking 15-pound boxes of the craziest pieces you've ever seen in your life. Like, I don't even know how I deserve this. But anyway, so they sent me. Oh, and also it was funny because this week, so their warehouse used to be in, I don't even remember where, Arizona or something. So they moved just recently to Vegas and they've been like trying to get their name out to all the fight community. So they right outside the UFC Performance Institute, they put up a big billboard for this last fight weekend for the Conor McGregor fight that said, "Let's manifest a McGregor win." And it said thecrystalcouncil.com under it. So, and then a bunch of the reporters on Twitter were like, the crystal community stands firmly behind Conor McGregor. And then a couple of the reporters were tagging me like, this has to be the work of Jessica. I'm like, this is not, I mean, those are my people, but I'm not picking McGregor. And of course I was right. Poirier won. But anyway, so they sent me a box and I feel like they sent me it because of this fight week. I don't remember, but yeah, I always get the FedEx alert and it says, you have a package coming from the Crystal Council. And I like wait on my porch. So the one they sent me this week, I'm going to post probably tonight an unboxing video I did, but they sent me the craziest shit. They sent me a giant selenite machete. Like, it looks like the Jason Voorhees machete, only it's made out of selenite, and it's the coolest fucking thing ever. I like want to walk around with it.
When you showed me the picture of it, I thought of you like as like an astral warrior, like in the spiritual realm, holding that selenite sword, like fighting off ultra terrestrials.
I know, it's so weird. It's crazy. It was like, okay, they send you like a little, if you order from them, first of all, they have a monthly subscription box. So you can order like, and get like little boxes of crystals every month. And there's different tiers. So you can get like smaller pieces and then you get like huge pieces. But then also they have a shop on their website. And so you can order, if there's like something that you want to order, just like one or two crystals, you can order whatever you want. So, and then when they send you it, they send this really nice, like personalized, like scrolly paper and it says what all the crystals do.
Is this an advertisement?
No, it's not. I'm just obsessed with them. So then I open the box and the scroll is on top and I'm like, I like throw it to the side because I don't want to open the scroll and know everything that I got. So then I'm going through the box and it starts with like smaller stuff and then I'm going to open it. And then I'm like feeling, they put those little crinkly papers in there, those cute little like confetti things. So I'm reaching around the bottom. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I get to the selenite sword and I lift it up. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. And I opened it. I lost my mind. They sent me a really big black obsidian heart. What else was in there? There's some towers. It's fucking so fun to open, but
How did they know your heart was black?
I know, right? They like, and how did they know I needed a machete? Duh, they know me. And this is fucking weird too, because literally the night before I was at my dad's house and I was in the garage and there was like a fucking Jason Voorhees machete hanging on the side of his garage. It was like black, and I'm like, I picked up. I'm like, why do you have this? He's like, I don't know. I bought it a long time ago. Do you want it? I'm like, yes, I want it. He's like, see, I feel like that's why I hung it on the wall because eventually you were gonna ask me for it, and I was gonna say yeah, so just have it. So then I brought it home and I put the machete under my bed. And then the next day, I open a fucking crystal machete from the Crystal Council. That's weird, right?
I
So
have,
now I
I,
have two.
I have a machete next to my bed.
See? Looks like we're one mind. Route.
I always think about like hitting someone with it, but I never have.
I know. I tried to, when I was walking back into the house from my dad's, like when I got here, I tried to whack the apple tree out front and it did not do anything. So I don't think I'm really going to kill anybody with it, but it was fun.
I've sharpened mine, and mine is very sharp.
Well, I'm going to bring mine over and we can sharpen mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've used,
sharpen machetes
I,
together. Yeah.
at the end of when Halloween is over, I use my machete to chop up my pumpkins.
Ooh, that's fun. We could do that.
That way the squirrels get inside. Because the squirrels dig those little hollow holes. They use the pumpkin as like a house. Have your squirrels ever done that?
I haven't carved pumpkins in a while, but
I have pumpkins every year, and every year they eat a little hole just big enough and then they sit inside the pumpkin and eat all the seeds.
Well,
and make a little pumpkin house.
Well, what we're going to do is we'll make a Patreon video this Halloween of us carving pumpkins, and then when it's over, we'll make a video of us chopping them up with machetes.
Should we go trick-or-treating this Halloween for Patreon?
Trick-or-treating?
Yeah, should we dress up and go trick-or-treating house to house? And
people will yell at us, won't they?
And film it?
I'll do it. I have no shame at all. I mean, or we could have like a trunk or treat and have people come and we could all just walk around and give each other candy.
I have a bunch of masks, so we could wear masks and just walk from house to house and pretend we're little kids.
You're literally you're like 6'3", bro.
I can say like, I'm going through adolescence. I'm growing. I'm growing and my voice is changing.
Give me some candy.
Trick or treat. Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat.
Wait, we have to be one of those costumes where it's like, wait, where it looks like somebody's carrying somebody and I'll be like the front thing. I'll be like a baby or an alien. They have that costume that's like a person carrying an alien or some shit.
What if we went trick-or-treating? We got one of those horse costumes.
Yeah.
Where like I was the back legs and you were the front legs and we walked around the neighborhood as a horse.
That sounds hard. Okay, we've got time to think about that.
What was your favorite costume when you went out trick-or-treating as a little kid?
Dude, my grandma used to make us costumes from scratch out of like felt material. I know I was Catwoman one year. That one was really good. She made me from scratch. I was a lobster. And she made all the arms and they put fishing line between the arms. And then when I would lift up my arms, all the arms would lift up. And I was Roger Rabbit once.
I had those. I mean, I was a 70s kid, so I had those Ben Cooper costume in a box with a plastic scary mask.
Those are so scary.
But I never wore the mask. Like, I think one time I wore the Batman mask, but then like when I was Superman, I didn't wear the mask. And then I think I had a Darth Vader one and I wore the mask. But then, there were a lot of times I was a hobo one time, which is just dirty clothes and a dirty face. That was a thing in the 70s. Like you just go as a hobo. I don't know if you're allowed to even do that. Are we allowed to even say hobo
sure
anymore?
You're not allowed to do that. I don't know why you're even talking about it.
Are you allowed to say hobo anymore?
I don't think. Or also, even if you are, I don't think you should dress up as one.
You don't think it's correct to go trick-or-treating as a poor person?
No. That's probably what Paris Hilton does.
My sister went trick-or-treating once as Aunt Jemima.
Oh, stop. Dude, my little sister had a spirit day before, and the spirit day was Nickelodeon shows, and she loved Rugrats, and she went to fucking school as the Black Rugrat and did the fucking full makeup, and she looked so fucking cute, and she didn't get why it wasn't appropriate, and she got fucking sent home.
When I was in high school, we used to have Spirit Week, and so, like Monday was like backwards day, you wear your clothes backwards. Tuesday was like
pajama day.
Pajama day. Wednesday was school color day. And then, so I had gotten elected to student government through a joke. I might have talked about that on another podcast where people thought it'd be funny to vote for me, and then I ended up getting more votes and actually winning and getting on student government.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the days for Spirit Week was Punk Rock Day. And so I petitioned to get that taken off because there were like 3 punk rock kids in the school, and it's not a costume for us. It's the way that we dressed.
It's true.
And so they took away Punk Rock Day and they replaced it with what?
Oh God. Oh God.
Nerd Day.
Aww.
And I was like, that's even fucking worse.
That is worse. No,
like there were kids telling the actual nerds in the school, like, I'm just gonna dress like you tomorrow.
Ugh.
And then I was like, ugh, they don't get this at all.
No, I don't even know if they do Spirit Days anymore for shit like that. I don't think that's over.
I don't know. I'm sure they have things like, well, everybody wears fucking pajamas all the time now, right?
I know. Why would that be a Spirit Day? That'd be a fucking Tuesday.
Yeah. Right?
I got pajamas on right now. Fuck the
It's
world.
like an adult every day is pajama day.
I know. And we ate like, we tweeted about it, but last night, we went to the bar last night, got hammed. Then we go back to Tenny's house. He literally made us in a row. The first course was fucking pizza and tater tots. The next course was soft pretzels. And the next course was mac and cheese. And then the last course was soft pretzels.
It was pretty fucking great, wasn't it?
Dude, I wish that was my day every day.
I'm the best. I know how to be a bachelor, man.
I already know. I know. And you know how to make sure, like, I would be fucking dead today if that didn't happen. Dead. Because when I told you I drank a half pint before the bar, it was fucking Jack Fire. So it was like cinnamon, whiskey. Like, that's what gives you a hangover. It's not the fucking alcohol, it's the sugar. And then your sugar drops and you feel like you're going to die. So it's a good thing we ate all the food. My trick is usually, if I'm like at my house, to wake up without a hangover is like peanut butter toast.
With butter before the peanut butter?
No dry toast for me.
No dry ass fucking toast.
This is one of our biggest standing points on Twitter and in life is that you have to put on butter on your peanut butter toast before you put on peanut butter. It's just a dry ass fucking toast.
What are you fucking dry mouth monsters doing just putting peanut butter on toast? What did you say? Wait, what was that thing you sent me about what is toast is what?
Acoustic bread. No.
Bread is acoustic toast.
Bread is acoustic toast. Yeah. That's the best.
It's pretty funny.
But no, because when you put on the butter and then the peanut butter, it adds that element of salty and sweet too, and then it's perfect and not dry.
Yes.
50% of people are doing it wrong.
I agree.
Yeah. What else? So we're going on an airplane. I packed up a bunch of my shit today for Paracon, because I'm selling a bunch of different enamel pins, and I put them all in a storage box and I label them all. A lot of our Patreons are going to be at Paracon.
I haven't packed anything.
I know. I don't know why I'm ready so fast. I'm never ready for anything.
I have some paintings I have to finish, and then that's it.
You're bringing stuff to Bell Bar, right?
Some paintings, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, not really.
Cool.
No.
I've been meaning to tell you.
I know that I am a terrible business person and whatever, but I am so excited to be at an event and be talking to people and be around people. Honestly, I don't want to be stuck at a merch table the whole time.
Yeah, true.
I want to be interacting with people, not worried about if I'm selling a shirt or something like that.
Well, what the fuck? My kitchen light is flickering. Really bad. Really bad. What the fuck? That's creepy as fuck. Anyway. So there's that. That's Bean. Hi, Beano. What was I going to say? There was another school thing. Oh, yeah. Not giving away where we live, but basically anywhere in America somebody lives by a fucking elementary school anyway. But the school by us?
Yes.
The fucking bell goes off every night at 3:30 in the morning. And it's so loud and I can hear it. And obviously I'm awake, but if I was the houses that are closer over there, I would be so fucking pissed.
Well, you now understand because you came over after the bar last night. Mm-hmm. I was asking you if you were hearing any of the problems that were going on I-75. And you said you couldn't hear them. And then when you came over to my house last night, you saw how fucking bright the sky is because of the highway near my house.
Yeah, it was so bright. I thought it was a full moon.
Nope, just the highway.
What is that light doing? It That's creepy because it's not doing it in here.
Maybe that light bulb's just going to burn out.
Oh, all the lights in my house are gonna burn out. The other day it was the hall light.
Well, when was the last time you replaced them all?
I don't know. I never have the lights on. I don't even know why that light's on. I meant to turn it off. But
yeah, I mean, it really makes a difference being like a mile away from a major highway.
Yeah.
I listen to fucking traffic all night long. It's crazy.
No.
Especially because my room is upstairs on the second floor, so like the sound carries so much better. It goes right above the roofs. Roofs.
Oh, one of my clients the other day was this like Reiki master lady, and she does some other, what does she call it? Some sacrocranial something, body cleansing something. But she was sweet as fuck, and I was telling her about I was telling her about being, I was getting all bummed out, and I'm like, I should probably get some kind of something done soon, or some kind of cleansing or something. And she just had like the best vibe. Like you know how some people you just feel like they have like, I don't want to say like a motherly energy, but just like you feel like safe with them, and they just have like the coziest energy.
That's what we were talking about, people's energy that they give off.
Yeah. So this lady, so I get done talking about Bean, and I'm like all emotional, and she goes, just out of nowhere, she goes, what do you think Bean was sent here to teach you? And I was like, oh. It was like the best question. And I was like, honestly, everything. I'm like, everything. And if I had to put a one thing, I'm like, he was always so silly and so jolly. So I guess the thing would be to just like enjoy life at every second that you can, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was so sweet. I'm like, dang. Ah! My kitchen light just went off all by itself after blinking. I don't know. If I go in there and it just turns on fine, this is going to be fucked. But anyway. But yeah, that was crazy. I liked her. I honestly want to go to her. Have you had Reiki done or no?
I'm a Reiki master.
Well, why haven't you ever done Reiki on me?
You never have wanted any.
Literally, you've never told me that in your life.
I've been a Reiki master for years. I haven't done it for years, but.
Well, fucking dust off your shit.
I have a framed certificate of Reiki mastership somewhere in my upstairs covered with dust.
I bet. And I got a tarot reading done the other day by some lady in England. She like did it for free, and I'm supposed to make a video. Whatever, I'm an idiot. But the reading was honestly super weird, if we're being honest. But she said that my heart chakra is like clogged as fuck, and that's the reason for any weird blockages that I have in my life right now, which doesn't sound not wrong. You know, it doesn't sound wrong.
Right. Like, maybe it's all that butter you're putting on peanut butter toast, blocking up your heart.
I'm just shoving butter into my heart. Well, get it out. Gross. That sounds gross. That's our episode title. Butter in my heart chakra. Gross.
Butter blocking my heart chakra.
Butter block. But yeah, so
and we don't even eat real butter.
I know. Fake butters. Vegan butters.
Macadamia nut butter.
I don't have that.
I had that. It was really good.
Dang.
Is it still, can you still call butter if it's not butter?
I mean, is it margarine? What's
margarine? I don't
margarine?
know. It's made out of macadamia nuts.
I don't know. That's nut butter.
Oh, I don't want to say that. That sounds gross.
You don't. That's not the title of this episode. That's for sure.
Nut butter.
No. I feel like we're forgetting something that we've done in the last week or talked about.
I don't think so.
We were just geeking out about Christopher Lee all week again.
Yeah. You know what I noticed? Because I started us a YouTube channel to put all the episodes on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I don't listen back to these episodes. I mean, you know, we record them and then I edit them, then I post them, and then I'm done. Like, I don't go back and listen to them. But when I posted the first episode on YouTube, I listened to the very end just to make sure that it was all there. Mm-hmm. What do we end the first episode talking about?
Shit, I don't know.
Take a guess.
I honestly, I don't know.
Getting Del Taco.
Oh, we talk about that at the end of every episode. Every episode. And they're always closed. Did they ever write to you?
No, fuck no, they didn't.
God, I hate them. And then somebody else told us to go to fucking real, authentic taco place. We've never done that in our fucking life.
That's because it's Miguel who lives in Mexico.
I know. I was like, bro, I know. And every time I hang out with Mark, he makes me go to authentic Mexican places. There's that place on John R. And there's a place over by Oakland Mall. But that's not the feeling. That's not the vibe at 2 a.m. when you just need a Beyond Meat burrito.
I know. I think the thing is, though, I think like with someone who is like lives in Mexico, like when you hear white people in Detroit talking about tacos and Del Taco all the time, you've obviously got to think like, oh, they've never had real Mexican food.
I know, but I'm like, okay,
because most people haven't. Like, people don't travel. People don't like expand. That's the whole thing about our journeys and like trying to be like better people. Like, stop at the little like taco stand. Stop at the authentic Mexican restaurant or the authentic Indian restaurant. Like, just don't eat burgers every day. Jesus.
I know. That's why when we were in Milwaukee, I said, let's go to this small coffee place instead of going to Starbucks. And I ended up getting the best coffee I've ever had one of the best coffees I've ever had in my life. It was like, so good. But yeah, so we, especially on road trips, me and you always try and go to like the tiniest places just to like experience local stuff. But no, like on the other hand, though, I was going to say like my great grandma literally came here from Italy. And obviously like my grandma makes some bomb ass Italian food, but I'm also obsessed with Olive Garden. So like,
yeah,
I know
yeah.
Sometimes it's just not the vibe. I can't go to my grandma's in Florida and get the food. So it's like, well, I'll just go wherever.
And my family is all Polish and they don't make any shit that I can eat anymore.
Right.
It's all fucking sausages.
And cheese.
And cheese.
No.
Here's some guampkis. Here's some hamburger and white rice wrapped in a cabbage leaf and tomato sauce. Have a good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I ate so many fucking guampkis when I was growing up.
I don't even know what that is, and I'm Polish.
It's rice, hamburger, stuffed inside a cabbage leaf that's simmered for like 2 days in tomato sauce.
What are stuffed peppers then?
Kind of like that, just without the cabbage leaf. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I always felt like whenever I ate Polish food, like sauerkraut and stuff like that, like it always seems to me like, I don't know, it was just, again, I've talked about this on the podcast. Like when my mom made food, my sister always called it gray food. Like there was just a lot of it. Like it didn't really have any taste. It was just, there was a bunch of it, meatloaf and guampkis, and it was just filler. It was something that you ate so that you weren't hungry anymore. And I feel that comes from like the old country of like, we're eating to survive, not because we like the taste of it.
Yeah, just like stew, just like glop.
Yeah.
Bloop glop.
How much stew I ate as a kid freaks me out. Like my mom would have a crock pot of stew.
We had a lot of spaghetti and a lot of chili because you could just save it forever.
Yes, chili too. We had a ton of chili.
I just remembered one part that I forgot to say about my Crystal Council rant. They said, that's why I talked about them relocating, because they moved from wherever they were and now they're in Vegas. And I said they're 5 minutes from the Vegas airport. And they said, if I'm ever in Vegas, I could come to their private warehouse.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. So whenever me and you go out west on a road
trip. Is this an ad?
I swear to you, it's not. I love them. I love them. We can talk about stuff that we love. Like Del Tacos. Del Taco don't give us shit. We talk about them all the time.
Yeah, it's not an ad. It's a slam.
Yeah, that's a slam now. It wasn't before.
It wasn't before. No more free advertising for Del Taco.
They lost us.
They lost us.
Garbage.
They're lost.
I know. They need to pay people more and hire more workers and stop closing at 9. The fuck is this? Honestly.
Are you old enough to remember a world when everything closed at 9 o'clock?
Okay, kinda, but that's like some small town shit. Like we live around a bunch of people. Shit needs to be open.
No, when I was growing up, Royal Oak was closed down at 9 o'clock at night. And then nothing was open on Sunday. Nothing.
Dang.
That's why it was such a fucking rare treat to have like Denny's. Holy shit, 24 fucking hours? Look out.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I'm thinking about how crazy it was. There was a 24-hour place when I was 13 years old. Now every fucking place is open. And the places that are supposed to be open, like Del Taco, are closed. And I'm mad.
I know. We don't want Taco Bell. It's not the same.
Makes you sick.
Bad tummies. I know. Upsetting.
Gives you taco belly.
Don't want Taco Belly. Are we done now?
Go and get your bird book.
I have it. It's right here.
Get your bird book. Okay, open it up to the first bird.
Hang on. Common loon.
No, wait. You have your bird? Do you have your bird book?
Yes.
Do you have it open to the first bird page?
Yes.
Okay, when I name off Patreons, you're going to tell me what kind of bird they are.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, Chris McKenna is a what?
Common loon.
Kyle Whitney?
Pie to build a grebe.
What? What is that? Let's read it again. Pie build grebe?
Grebe.
Jennifer Simpson.
Great blue heron.
Eldona.
Green heron.
Irena.
Black crowned night heron. Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Grace Hughes.
American bittern.
Carrie Arnold.
Canada goose.
Canada goose.
Yeah.
Look out for the goose. Pete Beer.
Mallard.
Ooh, I like mallards.
Me too.
Erica Graham.
Black duck.
Ooh. Amy Wallace.
Wood duck.
Why is that so funny?
I don't know. It just is.
Marley.
Pintail.
A pintail?
It's a duck.
Kathy and Molly.
Canvasback duck.
They're canvasbacks. No, Kathy's a canvasback, and then Molly's what?
American coot.
Dawn DeVito.
Common snipe.
Ooh, a snipe.
Snipe.
Snipe hunt.
I like it.
Brett Duffy.
Greater yellow leg.
Brett's one of my favorites. Not that not all of these people are my favorites, but Brett's my favorite. What is he?
Wait. What did I say? Greater yellow leg.
Say it. What?
Greater yellow leg.
Greater yellow leg. Oh, that's pretty funny. Linda Morrison.
Spotted sandpiper.
Lisa Dickens.
Herring gull.
Herring gull.
Yeah.
Sean the roaster.
Common tern.
Crystal Cook.
Cooper's hawk.
Emily Hoffman.
Red-tailed hawk.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Turkey vulture.
We'll do two more.
Okay.
Robert McGuire.
Sparrowhawk.
Sparrowhawk. Oh, we'll do unmatched MMA.
Bald eagle.
Bald eagle. And for this week, Jenny Laporte.
Osprey.
Osprey.
Okay, I'm going to save the page.
Okay, those are our patrons. Thank you so much.
We love you, patrons.
We'll do more next week.
Maybe I'll open a different book and call them weird, like, witch things or something.
Don't you have that tree book? Or like a star book that's made by the same publisher?
I do have a star book.
Yeah, it's made by the same publisher. It's the Zim book, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do stars for the next one.
I have a plant witchery book, too.
Okay.
Whatever, we'll figure it out. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to go do. I got to work out. I got to watch some TV. That's about it.
I'm going to eat some homemade burritos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I'm not very high today.